Good, beautiful morning, and it is a really nice morning. It's a nice 70-something degrees, 77. And I know some people might be like, yeah, no, that's still too hot. Like, give me the 60s. Give me like a 68, 69. It's like, yeah, no. I'm always cold, so I'm always wearing a hoodie, and I even have like the Snuggies, the ones that go, you get inside of and you wear all the way down. It goes all the way down to your ankles. I have one for work and I have one at home, and I'll wear that often because I'm cold. So 77, it's really nice for me. This morning, did I do anything with trades? I did do stuff with trades. The question is, did I do stuff with the paper trading account for the competition? And I don't exactly know. But we are going to go look at the chart because there's a few things I want to point out that I think would be beneficial for looking at, so we're two candle theory, the idea of just the next candle is going to be in the direction of the previous candle. Ways to capitalize on that. So we're just going to briefly touch on a few of those, and then we'll actually go look at the paper trades. In my own hedging account, in my own personal account, I trade two candle theory, and I'm adding hedging as a risk structure to help manage my positions. And so one of the things that you look into, or in this idea of the two candle theory, I look at the weekly and the 4 hour. So something like odd USD, if we go look at the weekly was bullish. I'm expecting the next weekly to be bullish. So I mark out particular levels on the 4 hour, and then I look to get in and basically place my stop loss below where I believe that wick is going to be created. So this top green line next to the actual trading view icon, so this top green line right here is where the candle opened. Good morning.
You got an appointment?
Yes. I arrive a little bit early to my appointment so I can actually talk about the particular trades, and the lady comes over to my car. She's like, you have an appointment? Come on in. You can come in early. So it's got to be seen early. So I know I was talking about just looking at the two candle theory. So that's what I'm doing for the trading competition. Here on like odd USD, because I use it in my own, and I'm starting to use hedging as a management for positions and risk and all this other stuff. But here is like a case in point. So odd USD on the weekly, because I do the weekly and the 4 hour. Previous candle was bullish. I'm expecting the next candle to continue bullish. Drop down to the 4 hour. This green line there, where that arrow is pointing towards the green line, this is, I think, where we stopped, or where I stopped before. I probably won't even include it. This green line is it should be the open / close of last week and this week's candle. That's where that is. Looking down here on the 4 hour, this is when I look at two different things. I'll look 50% retracement of the previous candle, because if you look in the past, generally that's where the wick of the next candle tends to go. If it's a really strong candle though, you don't always get that pullback. Sometimes it'll come a third of the way and before it turns around. But either way, no matter what, if it's going to create a bottom wick, it has to drop below the opening of the previous, or the close of the previous candle. So with that being said, price came down in this area right here, and I was waiting for it to drop a little bit lower, but it had come down. It had come down once, it came down twice, and neither time did it continue going lower. Price popped up and then gave me a third time that it came down with some wicks at the bottom. I'm like, okay, if it can stay above this level, there's a high probability it's going to continue up, especially because my bias is already buys anyway based upon the previous candle. So I got into this trade, and I was just going for a 1-to-1 because why reach for the moon when you can just slowly steal money out of people's pockets? A bad analogy, but you know what I mean. Like, there's no point going for home runs when you can consistently make first, second, and third base in small increments to finally bring everybody home. What's the point of always hitting home runs? So I just went for a 1-to-1, but understand, I'm expecting this candle to close bullish. And if I use the ATR, the average true range of weekly candles, this trade should come at least to the top of that arrow, way up here, somewhere in this area. That is a huge movement. And if I had gotten in where I got in, that would be a 1-to-7. That's a beautiful trade. It's possible. If you look at every single candle and every candle that follows after that, and you look down and you dig down onto a smaller time frame to see how that plays out on the lower time frame, you will be able to start to see that you can get into trades like that. Using a higher time frame as your bias and as your target, you can get into trades like that, and they happen a lot. So this is where, yes, by doing this competition, I am throwing it out there that just keeping it simple and going with the previous candle's color as your bias for the next candle, using a stop loss a little bit below the previous candle and a target of a little bit more than a 1-to-1, you can be, right now we're above break even. And so that is better than majority of people who are trying way too hard with overcomplicated strategies. It does not have to be that hard. You just have to get in, and you yourself have to start seeing the pattern recognition for yourself. My patterns and what I see on when I believe price is going to turn around and go up, or turn around and go down, that pattern recognition for me is completely and totally different than anybody else. I probably wouldn't be able to teach somebody that pattern recognition because it's very, very personalized. It's all about me, my experience, my life, my risk management, my tolerance, my outlook. Like, every part of whatever that builds you to be you plays into your decision making, which is why if you are looking at particular strategies and you see people just knocking it out of the park and they're just doing great, and you try to mimic them and you just can't seem to get it, it's because you are trying to be like them. You can't do that in this field. You have to make it work for yourself. And so whatever that looks like, it doesn't matter what trading strategy you're doing. It doesn't matter support and resistance, trend lines. If you're just looking at price action, if you're doing order blocks, if you're doing supply and demand, it doesn't matter whatever you're doing. You have to tailor it to yourself in order to make it work. If it was such a thing that you could program without any human personality, experience, intuition, input, it would be an algorithm that would be successful. It's 2018. I've looked into that. I was very much into, like, I just need a rules. I want to know that when I get into this trade, I followed all my rules. I checked off every single box, and it should work out. That's really, really hard to follow. That's really, really hard to follow, and it's really, really hard to be successful with it, because there is a little bit of nuanced intuition that has to play a part in everything. Why? Because the markets are not so robotic that you can do stuff like that. There's a human element to it, which screws up anything that you can do to program it. Sorry, just the way it is. So, as people out there will hype and probe about all sorts of, I got algorithms that you can try our algo and it wins 93% of the time, and then we have the other algo. Okay, number one, if you have an algo that wins 93% of the time, why did you create another algo? Like, there's 93% win rate. What's the point of another algorithm? Like, why? But hey, whatever. Okay, cool. You understand what I mean? Hopefully. If not, it'll be all right. You will get there eventually. some of these things are like light bulb moments that you don't get until you actually get into the field, into the charts, and do this day in and day out. You see what you see how things play out over and over again. Those are when you have light bulb moments, and you'll continuously have them all throughout your career. So it's not like you're going to get to a point where it's like, I know everything I need to know. I don't need to do anything different. You will continually learn. You'll either learn more about yourself, you'll learn more about how to increase your profitability or decrease your stress level or decrease the impatience or decrease the fear, increase your discipline. Like, there are all sorts of things that you will continuously learn all throughout this journey. And so you'll never stop. So you'll have these light bulb moments going like, yes, I understand what that means. So if you don't understand something now, don't try to, like, you won't have to try to figure it out. It will come in time with action and practice. So if you want to figure it out, continue being consistent in doing what you're doing, and eventually it'll click. Things will click. So SPX 500, long rant, so sorry. SPX 500 went bullish. It continued bullish. That's good. That's good. I like that. So that's 2 back-to-back. DE30 also did really well. Good stuff on that one. I guess I'm sitting out of a lot of these trades right now. Oh, JP225 may more than likely hit stop loss. I mean, it would have to turn around like right now. And it's possible. So I won't knock it out yet. Gold going sideways. This is that one I compared to natural gas. I'm like, it's just going sideways. Natural gas went sideways, and then it finally took me out at stop loss. And it's like, if you look at like the 4-hour candles of the time frames that I would be trading, there are so many little moments that would have been winners in the midst of them if I wasn't in this trade already. And so it's like, it's so annoying. It can be. It is annoying, but letting everything play out, even though price is not doing what I want it to do. And this is part of that nuance thing. If my trading plan is I expect the next candle to do what the previous candle did. So if one candle was bullish, I expect the next candle to be bullish. There's a certain range I'm expecting it to go, because, I mean, if the average range on a 4-hour candle is about 20 pips, and I'm shooting for 150, like, that doesn't make logical sense to go with the 2-candle theory. Because, yeah, I may expect the next candle to be bullish, but do I expect the next 7 or 8 candles after that to also be bullish? Like, that doesn't make any sense. If you think about it in reality, and I think you'd be hard pressed to go back and find 7 back-to-back candles. Maybe not. Okay, well, maybe not in gold. Good gracious. Okay, I mean, so here's a nuance of the actual instrument that you're trading. Gold can do that. Why would I expect it? I wouldn't, just because I wouldn't. I don't trade gold that often. But it does look like, yeah, sometimes gold will just take off in one direction with no stops or pullbacks. Oh my goodness. Okay, wow. With that being said, gold will generally gold goes in one direction sometimes, a lot. Cool. Well, now we're going sideways. Is that really what you want to sit in, or do you want to be in the ones where it goes in one direction? And so with that being the case, you may call this out early. You may be like, you know what, I'm done. You know, here we are around break even. I'm going to go ahead and get out. It just, price seems to be going sideways. And be okay with if maybe the very next candle causes the move that you were waiting on. Be okay with that. Because if you do this consistently enough and you realize that number one, it decreases your stress and anxiety. It gives you more peace and comfort about it. And you still are profitable. That peace and comfort, the less stress, the less anxiety, is well worth missing out the trade. So don't worry about it. So like, this is one. Natural gas did the same thing, and this would be gold. And I'm like, you know what? If price wouldn't break these triple highs that it has right now, if price gets back up there again and then turns around, I'd be like, that's it. Now for this competition, I'm gonna leave it because that's the way we're playing it out. But that would be me. It's be like, I'm done with this. Let me move on to something else that seems to be moving. Silver. Silver hit stop loss. So at 9 o'clock, depending on how this candle closes, man, I feel more bearish for this than I do bullish. But if that closes without being an indecision, I'm supposed to take a buy. So there is that. We'll see how that plays out. Yeah, but I don't know. I see more bearish. But, you know, you could say that about a few different times where candles did look like this and they ended up still going bullish. You know, I don't see any right off the chart, but, you know, they're out there. West Texas oil, back at break even. Had hovered in profit for quite some time. Now we're back at break even. Who knows where this is going to go? 9 o'clock might show something. Natural gas is definitely, we're halfway to the stop loss now. So what does that look like as far as the account? That is my actual live Oenda, so that's the wrong one. Let's go to paper account. Come here. Come on. There you go. All right. Equities at $255,478, floating P&L of $26. I could actually go to Starbucks if I drink coffee. So, yep, in those 4 trades right now. This is that 500 something? Are we halfway there? Oh yeah, okay, halfway there. So, yeah. So that's what it is right now. Let's see how these trades play out. I have until it's 7:49 right now. I have a little over an hour. I always forget that the time countdown's right there. I have an hour and 10 minutes exactly before 9 o'clock. And so I'll get into some other trades based upon the ones that are closed, as long as they fit my small little rule that I have in regards to the indecision candle. And then we'll see how things play out. Today is going to be a beautiful day, just like yesterday, just like every day before. Because if you're alive today, then you should be thankful for all the days before. It doesn't matter. I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to go to work. I did it again. I missed 9 o'clock, so it's 9:22. And, you work and everything like that. So hopping back onto the charts, it's like SPX 500. It's already started moving. I don't want to get into it now. I could put in a buy limit. Is that what it is? A buy limit, sell limit? Whichever one actually, waits for it to fall down and then triggers you in. I could put that in, and I might do that. But it's usually easier to do on the computer. So I'll set that up. If you've been following along at all, you know exactly where I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it on the open of the previous candle. Stop loss goes where it needs to go. Like, it's not rocket science. I'm staying consistent. Maybe minute subjectivity in regards to some stop loss placement, depending on the particular trade I was getting into. But yeah, other than that, then I pretty much keep it consistent. So SPX 500, I'll put it in a, actually it's pulling back a little bit. Let's go ahead, let's do that. Do it. Doesn't matter where I put it because it's just going to get me in on the market anyway. So stop loss a little bit below there. Go to 1 to 3. Oh, look at that. Create limit order. Market 11. I do remember that. So we're going to buy that one. All right. We're in that one. Move up. There we go. It wasn't registering. DE30. Where are you at? Okay, same thing. We will expect a buy on this one, and we are close enough that makes sense. So let's shore this up a little bit. 1 to 20, that's fine. Create that. Market 3. Is 3 the right number? 3 is the right number. 3 is the magic number. Buy there. JP225. Come on. Okay. We'll take it. Why not? It's still got plenty of... If it's going to go, it's going to go. We'll keep that below there. This will have to jump up that way. Create limit order. What is JP225? It's just 1. So the max I can do is 1. Bye. We are in that one as well. Come on. My phone is not being as responsive as I was like, we're still in this one. Okay, that's fine. This would have been a sell. So like, like if we were out of this trade, we'd be going for a sell. And profit target, I mean, stop loss would be way up here. So profit target would probably be down there. So we'll just see what that looks like just for funsies later on. So that's that. Silver's out. Cool. Look how far it's pushed already. Although that's an indecision, so not worried about that. I'll stay. Yep, that would be an indecision candle. Not for some reason I think. And this is where it's like recording these and trying to keep up with what my thought process was. I'm pretty sure that when I said earlier, and I say earlier, but it was like 3 hours ago, but in the video it's like 2 seconds ago, I was like, I feel like this is more bearish than it is bullish, even though if this next candle closed bullish, I would take a bullish trade. I just look at this and it's like, based upon just what it's doing and all that other stuff, it feels like it's going to go down. And that's the intuition that I'm talking about you developing. But it's only because I've seen this over and over again. Even though my rules would have said, if that previous candle was a buy, take it. And my rules now say, that's an indecision candle, don't take it. But my intuition was, this is going to go down. Like, I feel like it's going to go down. And by all technicality, it could still turn right back around. Right now, it could shoot up right now. 500 pips. Could. Probably not going to, but it could. But it's okay. The intuition is what I'm letting drive me. That intuition is based upon experience. Even though I can't place why I feel a certain thing, I could sure sit here and justify wick on the previous candle, the previous bearish impulse, and this is just a pullback retracement, whatever. I could come up with all sorts of excuses on why it's a sell. I don't need to know. I don't need to, though. I just feel like it is. And if I feel like it is, I'm going to take a trade based upon that. And I will feel better going with that feeling than going against it, or taking a trade and completely ignoring that feeling. So 2 cents, take it or leave it. West Texas oil, we are still in it. It might knock me out. That's fine. That's cool. I won't be able to get into a trade then until then. Same thing with natural gas. All right. So that pretty much sums up all of the current trades. We are in some drawdown right now, but time will tell what's going to go on. So until I hop on a little bit later, probably around 9 o'clock tonight, maybe not. I have men's prayer later today, and so 9 o'clock actually is right in the middle of men's prayer. So probably not 9. I'll probably do the exact same thing where it's going to be 9. I'm going to completely and totally miss it. Hop back on the chart, see if something is still able to get in, and if it is, I'll set it up and then close out for the day. If not, I'll see you guys in the morning.